Sweet Science Brothers coming to you live from Brooklyn. It's your boy Yav. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the explosive heavyweight division and the resurgence of this division back to, it's slowly coming back to its prominence. It's still not there yet, but, man, this heavyweight division is getting hot. So it's been recently announced by Article on Boxing Scene and other websites as well that newly crowned IBF champion Charles Martin has just signed a deal to fight highly touted prospect Anthony Joshua for April 9th in London. This is huge news. This is huge news. I mean, Charles Martin, he's been pretty much unknown. He's undefeated, but he's an unknown American heavyweight who recently won the IBF championship against Glasgow. Glasgow, who was the mandatory for Tyson Fury's IBF belt. Him and Kathy Duva wanted to fight Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury wasn't interested in that fight. There wasn't any money in the fight, and Tyson Fury is only interested in the biggest money fights. Normally, I don't like that, but because he's the lineal heavyweight champion and he beat Klitschko, who's been reigning for 10 or 11 years, I guess he has every right to feel that way. Especially with Glasgow, he really wasn't anybody I thought was dangerous or prominent or anything like that. So I guess it really didn't matter. But so Tyson Fury was stripped of his IBF title, and Glasgow fought the next man under him for the vacant belt, which was Charles Martin. And I never seen Charles Martin fight before that night, so it was interesting to see. He's a very tall, rangy fighter, and nothing really happened in the fight. Unfortunately, it ended with Glasgow's knee getting injured or twisted somehow. Anyway, Charles Martin's the new IBF heavyweight champion. He's an undefeated young guy. Didn't care much for that fight. And I really didn't think much of it, but after reading this article, we're starting to learn things about Charles Martin that are really impressive to me, and it says a lot about his character. So there's two things. One, in the article, his management team is basically saying, Charles Martin only wants to fight the best fighters in the division, and he gave me a list of the top guys, and all of them were booked up. Tyson Fury's rematching Klitschko, and Povetkin is going to be fighting. Hopefully, he's negotiating with Deontay Wilder. So the next best guy from them was Anthony Joshua, highly touted prospect. I think he could be the best guy in the division other than Fury, but we have to see a little bit more of him. He's still young. He's still a little green. He needs a little more experience. But with the eye test, Anthony Joshua is looking great, and so this is a big deal, He's fighting Anthony Joshua. They're both undefeated. But what really makes this fight special to me, and I'm sure all of you guys are going to agree with me here, is that Anthony Joshua is going to London to fight. Charles Martin is going to London to fight Anthony Joshua on pay-per-view with Skybox TV in England. This is a game changer. Honestly, this is a game changer. First of all, it's kind of showing... first, it's a big deal on several levels. The first one being that the boxing market in England is better, or is becoming more better than the market here in America. Certain fights can sell big out there, and having somebody like a Al Heyman type fighter who's undefeated, just got a newly crowned IBF champion. He's going to London to face a guy in his hometown. They wouldn't be fighting on pay-per-view over here, let's face it. So basically, we're starting to see a trend that, some fights are more valuable to be had over there. And that's a good thing. I think that fighters need to travel, and American fighters have not been traveling for a long time. And I like the fact that Charles Martin is breaking that mold right away He just got his belt, and he's going to go travel with his belt and bring it to England to fight this guy in his hometown. That says a lot about Charles Martin's character. So, that move right there, I didn't know anything about him, and I wasn't impressed by the Glasgow fight. But that right there, I have to respect that move. And it's the type of move that, you know, I like. As a boxing fan, I like to see fighters who are willing to go to where the big fights are. And it's a good move for him, too. It's a big money fight. Why waste time fighting bums, you know, and getting paid $500,000, or when you could go, you know, I mean, think about this. I want all of you guys to think about this. How long has Keith Thurman been around on TV and been fighting and doing what he's been doing? He's been around for a long time. Has he ever been in a pay-per-view? It's never happened. He's never been in a pay-per-view. But look at Charles Martin. Relatively unknown guy. Just won an IBF title. Vacant title against an unknown guy. Glasgow was also pretty unknown. More known than Charles Martin, but either way, he just got his title. And what is Charles Martin doing? He's taking a risk. He's going overseas to fight a young undefeated lion over there. And he's going to be on pay-per-view. So look at how that works. Guys like Keith Thurman want to go and fight all these soft touches and all these bums, you know, and they're not getting no pay-per-views. They're not doing anything big. But Charles Martin, he's taking a big risk, but he's going to be on pay-per-view right now. Yeah, it's an English pay-per-view, but it's a big money fight. And it's a big move. Now, I don't want to criticize Keith Thurman too much because he's finally fighting somebody, Sean Porter. He's finally fighting Sean Porter, but I mean, before this Porter fight, the last significant fight he had was against Chavez. So, I mean, that was a long time ago. Anyway, back on the heavyweights. The heavyweight division is completely explosive right now. So you got Charles Martin going to fight Anthony Joshua. You got Povetkin and Wilder. This fight is going to happen. I mean, these negotiations are serious. This fight is going to happen, and there's been a lot of articles out about how PBC is running out of money. Al Heyman is running out of money, and the corruption inside PBC is growing. You know, there's certain promoters who are stealing money and not paying the fighters what they're supposed to pay them, and because, you know, Al Heyman has these like shield promoters, but everyone's kind of like pinching, you know, squeezing a little bit off the top and taking it for themselves. So there's like a corruption going on in the PBC, and the money and the budget of PBC is like 80% gone from the articles that I've read. So this makes the Deontay Wilder and Alexander Povetkin fight a lot more realistic in its happening, because Al Heyman does not want this fight to go to a purse bid, because for the first time since the PBC venture has started, it's not looking like they're going to win that purse bid. It isn't. From what I heard, like Alexander Povetkin, he is like I know he's lost to Klitschko and everything, but he's like the Floyd Mayweather of Russia. Like, he's very popular. He makes a lot of money out there, and he has a lot of backing. His Russian promotion team, they have a lot of money, and they can outbid Heyman or come close. And Heyman he doesn't have time, you know, to be overpricing this event. So I'm sure he's going to make a fair deal for Povetkin, and I think this fight is going down. So once again, we got Charles Martin versus Anthony Joshua. Then we got what's looking like Deontay Wilder versus Povetkin. This fight's going to happen. And then we got Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko, the rematch. And, you know, you got David Haye in the mix. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's other fighters coming up. The heavyweight division is becoming very, very, very explosive right now. And I just wanted to, you know, give you guys a heads up on that. Keep a lookout for these heavyweights. And, man, this is good news. This is good news for boxing, and it's about time, you know. I don't think the heavyweight division has been dead like everyone says. I just think that Vladimir Klitschko dominated the heavyweight division to such a crazy degree that people gave up hope and just stopped paying attention to the division. But there have been good heavyweights out there. We just had a really, really dominant champion for a long time. Either way, This is your boy Av coming to you live with this update. Sweet Science Brothers. Like, comment, and subscribe. Help this channel grow, guys. And let me know your thoughts on the heavyweight division. And, educate me and enlighten me if there's any like young prospects that are knocking guys out and doing well in this division that I haven't mentioned that I should be looking out for. I'm willing to, I'd love to know some more about the division, because I myself have to admit that, the heavyweight division wasn't a division I would focus too much on, but of course, it's becoming very explosive, and now I'm watching it very well. Anyway, guys, Sweet Science Brothers, peace.